Hello everyone, this is Mr. Informal back with another thoughts, analysis, and rant. It's been a busy week for me due to these gadgets, electronics releases, and announcement. So let's talk about the LG G8 ThinQ. So where do we even start? So the LG G8 was announced in Mobile World Congress 2019 alongside with its competitors, other new stuff including the Galaxy Fold and Huawei folding phone too. I think it's called the X, something X. But whatever it may be, I am here to talk about the LG G8 ThinQ or Think, whatever you want to call it. So, as usual, I'm going to talk about my thoughts, analysis, and rant. But first and foremost, let's talk about the specs. So, as usual, this comes with 128 gig base storage, micro SD card slot expandability, Android 9 Pie. The colors are black, navy, gray, and red. Man, that red might actually look good. And comes with 6.1 inch screen, 1440 by 3120 pixel. Wow, I think that's 4K or maybe close to 4K. 60 megapixel back camera shooter, 6 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 855, 3500 milliamps of battery, Gorilla Glass 5 front and glass, IP68 dust and waterproof. Obviously has the mil spec standard of 8010G. Obviously it has Dolby Vision in the screen. It's also 100% DCI-P3, which is basically means that it's 100% color accurate. Adreno 640 as its GPU. So here's the camera, the main camera, which are on the back, 12 megapixels f1.5, 16 megapixels f1.9, and then 12 megapixel 52 millimeter as your telephoto. It has OIS. So basically the only one that does not have OIS is the 16 megapixel ultra wide. So this means that the LG G8 has 3 cameras in the back. The videos are 4K by 30 and 60 frames per second, 1080p 30 and 60 frames per second. It has 720p 240 frames per second, and because with the sound 24-bit of stereo sound. Wow, that's pretty good. I've always been a fan of LG when it comes to their microphones and videos. Now, as for the front, it has 2 cameras. It has a depth of field and also 8 megapixel f1.7 26 millimeter wide camera. The video is 1080p 60 frames per second. It comes with a 3.5 millimeter jack, 32-bit of audio with X surround sound, DTS X surround sound, whatever you want to call that, 5.0 Bluetooth, and aptX high def. USB 3.1 type C, the usual. It has a fingerprint scanner in the back and comes with fast charging. Not only that, the features of this is the front camera. You can also control the screen with hand gestures. You go look at in videos. I'm sure you'll find it quite reminiscent of the Galaxy S3 when they were using hand gestures to take pictures and also move the screen when you're surfing the internet as your scroll wheel. So what are my thoughts about this LG G8? Man, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. 3 cameras, 6 gigs of RAM, 3500 milliamps. So my thoughts about this is they're just, the LG did enough to make themselves feel relevant, but sadly I believe that the S10, the Fold, I mean even Xiaomi's phone have taken the spotlight, and so even Sony's phone have taken the spotlight. And so I'm really confused. What's the ThinQ for? Seriously, is it for the AI? I mean, does it really matter? Why didn't you just call it LG G8? So my final thoughts about this phone is that, again, did enough to make themselves feel relevant, and sadly it falls short. I've always loved LG for their audio because I'm a fan of the LG G5. I still have it even though I used the Sony Xperia XZ1 Compact. I've always been a fan of their camera. I've always been a fan of their their microphone technology, especially in the LG V20. But this LG G8 is not bringing that spirit with it. It's just basically, I don't know what to say. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's average. And in these times, I don't think average is a good thing. So let's get on with the analysis here, okay? With so much competition in the smartphone industry, the competition has been fierce. LG has always been in there with the Samsungs, the HTC, well, not anymore, the OnePlus, even the iPhones. I mean, the list goes on and on. They were always in the top 3 or top 4. You can even say top 5. With the LG G8, I don't know where they are right now. It seems as though LG does not know what to do with its smartphone sector. The last motivation or the last feat that LG ever did was the G5. From its camera, from the removable battery, from the fingerprint scanner, from the screen. I mean, to me, the only bad thing about the LG G5 was its audio. It was very, very average to least. You can even say it was the worst at the time. But the direction that LG is going is nowhere. They're just trying to play catch up. They're trying to do the Me Too. Where is the LG that I know of using the G5 was trying to make themselves unique, make themselves different, differentiates themselves from the competition? Adding another notch, 3 cameras. I mean, what does it really do? I mean, with having 6.1 inch screen and 35 milliamps battery, you would think that it could bump it up to 4,000, but it's not. So, where does that lead the LG G8 in the pool of competition? It's just another phone that people won't notice, and it's just going to be there. And if LG hasn't realized from themselves, well, I'm just going to tell you right now that by the time they realize, it would be too late. So this is my rant of this phone. It's another Me Too phone. Notch, triple cameras. I mean, 6.1 inch screen, 35 milliamps battery. I mean, it's another Me Too phone where there's no uniqueness to it. There's no originality. My biggest gripe about this is that why is it so average? I'm looking at the specs: 6 gigs, 35 milliamps battery, IP68, 6.1 inch screen, 855 Snapdragon. I mean, yeah, it has 3 cameras, but what is so different about this? I won't lie, the thing I like about this is the audio, 32-bit audio, and the mics. But that's about it. And the worst part about this is that pricing could be around $800 to $900, and I don't think it's worth it. Think about this. Would I get the LG G8 than the Galaxy S10? No, I'll pick the Galaxy S10 easily. Heck, you know what? Let's even make it unfair competition. If you tell me I'm willing to give you the LG V20, but no, let me rephrase that. If you had me pick between the LG G8 ThinQ and the LG V20, which one would I pick? Oh, this is easy. I'd pick the LG V20. I feel as though after a couple years, the LG V20 is still holding on its own. Down on the removable battery, the stereo, the microphone in videos. I mean, the microphone placements in videos. Obviously, the high fidelity audio, fingerprint scanner. The screen is still there. I mean, it's probably as big as the LG V20. I mean, yeah, the LG V20 has 4 gigs of RAM, but again, this has 6 gigs of RAM, and the LG V20 came out when? 2015? And it's 2019. And the LG V20 has 2 cameras in the back, even though it has 1 front camera in the front. But it doesn't matter. It is so average. And I'm thinking in my mind, what has LG done in 3 years? I mean, they're just trying to play catch up, relevancy. I don't know what to think of this phone. And it saddens me, because every time I look at the LG G5, it reminds me of how LG used to be the experimental, the exciting brand, the unique, the originality, being unique, being eccentric, and yet here we have a phone not having that spirit. And it's sad, because again, when will LG get it? If they haven't found out by sales by now, when will they suddenly realize, you know what, let's scrap everything, let's just make a great phone and be original, let's bring something new? And the LG G8, it's just average the least. And so that basically gives my thoughts, analysis, and rant on the LG G8 ThinQ. Tell me what you think of the LG G8. Do you think LG just made this phone just for relevancy, for their stockholders, or shareholders, whatever you want to call them? Or do you think this is enough to take on the flagship this year? Let me know down in the comments below. This is Mr. Informal. I will see you in my next thoughts, analysis, and rant. Bye-bye.